Alrighty, what's going on, peeps? Okay, first of all, this picture is just absolutely stunning. Okay, it's beautiful. It is a picture from Vietnam. Again, Vietnam's one of the places that I want to travel. Having said that, I want to bring up a couple of things. I mentioned it before, but I want to bring it up again. When I talk about Iraq and Vietnam, as far as long-term investments, I'm not talking about the currencies. I'm just talking about them as a country. Both countries, Iraq and Vietnam, have a ton of room for expansion, and their economies would absolutely explode. And if you happen to be there at the ground level, well, then you could greatly benefit from it. As far as the currencies are concerned, a lot of people from the Nasera Jacera videos are watching these and they're a little confused. These videos are for those individuals who have bought and invested into the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnam dong. That's what these news reports are for, because we know once the global currency reset takes place, they will revalue these currencies, and you have an opportunity to really monetarily benefit from the rate change is what it is. Okay, you guys? So having spoken about Vietnam, let's get into their news, because man, every day, just like it, you know what's weird is I do read about other countries. I do read about Malaysia, Indonesia, and stuff like that. But the fact that I own the currency of Vietnam as well as the Iraqi dinar, I do focus them a little bit more closely. But both of them, it seems like there's something about these two countries, or the year 2020, despite the pandemic, there's a lot of positive news coming out there, and I feel really, really good about that. So having said that, a quick reminder at the end of the video, if you like what I'm saying, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. All right? Subscribe, because it does keep the channel free, and I'm grateful. Now, having also said that, thank you. That's right. Today I've reached 13,000 subscribers. I cannot begin to tell you how humbling this experience has been for me. First and foremost, of course, I got to thank God, because with God, all things are possible. That's why I have faith in the Nasera, the Jacera, and the rate change for the Iraqi dinar as well as the Vietnam dong. But when I first started my channel, when I was encouraged by a group of people, and I'm very grateful to them, because I thought, man, nobody's going to listen to me. I might get about 200 subscribers. I've said this before. I was joking, because someone said, hey, remember that time that Frank did that video, Frank 26, and me and him had this back and forth thing. It was no big deal. Anyways, he was responding to somebody, and he said, he pointed at my subscribers and joked. He said, why am I wasting this time? This guy really doesn't have a lot of subscribers. And I thought, well, that's kind of arrogant. It's ironic that I've passed him up as far as subscribers are concerned. That's neither here nor there. But the point being, I really didn't think I was getting more than about 200 subscribers. And now I'm at 13,000, and my channel continues to grow at a very, very fast pace. I know you have other options that you could go and check out, but I just want you to know that I'm grateful that you do come to my channel and take the time to watch what I put out. It's important to me, and I'm thankful. And your subscriptions help keep this information free, because there's a lot of people out there that charge you to go to Patreon to get the same information. All right, you guys? Now, before I get all wussified on you guys, let's get into why I'm excited about Vietnam again. Look at this. S&P Global, that is. S&P maintains stable outlook for Vietnam's sovereign credit rating. Of course, this is important. S&P Global Rating has announced it has maintained Vietnam's sovereign credit rating at BB. Part of the reason why they're not higher is because they manipulate the currency. But having said that, with the stable outlook in its latest report released, excuse me, damn Rona, no scam. According to the Ministry of Finance, okay, the move is reflection of a strong potential for recovery in Vietnam's economy following the period of deceleration due to the Rona. All right, you guys, we talk about this all the time, man. Here's the thing. Vietnam in the first quarter of 2020, despite the coronavirus, had a slamming economy, man. It's just crazy. They did really, really well. They're one of a handful of nations that handled the coronavirus the proper way. They are also benefiting from the Trump-China trade war, which continues. All right. In addition to that, people are pissed at China for what they did, allowing the coronavirus to get out. And you're going to see that in other articles. So what does this tell me? Not only is investing into their currency a smart move, and although I said this before, people are misunderstanding me, the currency is going to go up in value. We know they are manipulating the currency. They have to change it before they get slapped on the hand by Trump. And they lose all this good momentum because that's the guy you don't want to mess with. He will make your life a living hell. Having said that, they know they have to change their currency rate, so we will benefit from that. But not just that. In addition, I do believe over the next 5, 10, 15 years, make sure I want to make this clear. The rate is going to go up in a short period of time. The type of reevaluating that everybody's waiting for. But in addition to that, I think that the currency has a great opportunity over the next 5, 10, 15 years to go up even higher. All right? But I keep telling people, but not just the currency, outside of the currency. There is an ETF I put on my stock watch. All right? When I do stock watch, I have you guys go look at it. There is a mutual fund on there that covers Vietnam. These are the types of things that I'm talking about as well. Vietnam in the long term, as far as the investment is concerned, is a great opportunity for investing into it. Okay, so anyways, S&P evaluated the Vietnam's solid growth achievements over the past years will continue to support and maintain the country's sovereign credit rating. In a scenario where the global pandemic is basically controlled by the end of 2020 and early 2021, S&P forecasts that Vietnam's real GDP growth will recover in 2021 and from 2022 onward will approach the development speed the country set in a long-term 6 to 7%. No, I think it's going to be quicker than that. This is just my opinion, but I think the recovery is going to take place in 2020, and they're going to be back at that 6 to 7% range in 2021. And I'm going to show you other articles why I think that. Globally, since the beginning of April, S&P has adjusted its negative rating of 22 countries. While working with S&P to evaluate the sovereign credit rating last April, the Ministry of Finance has relevant agencies presented convincing evidence that the adaptive capacity of Vietnam's economy, which has been clearly illustrated in the challenging global context. Apart from successful curbing the coronavirus, Vietnam has supported, cooperated with, and shared experiences in fighting the corona disease with other countries and international organizations, which has been greatly appreciated by the international community, the ministry said. So the outcome demonstrates the deep connection between the Vietnamese government and its people. Okay, so they are anticipating a strong recovery. I say they are way farther along than most all countries. That's just my opinion. Vietnam needs to change its way to attract FDI leaving China. So these are foreign investors that are leaving China. Didn't I tell you this is going to happen? Didn't I tell you it was happening? Didn't I tell you it's going to happen? Okay, you guys, I told you this because of the trade war with China. Not just that now. There's a lot of countries that really believe that China allowing the pandemic to come out and affect other countries was an act of war, and they want war reparations. So you're going to see that these countries are not playing around. Vietnam has some great advantages while competing with regional countries and attracting capital flows moving out of China after the Rona. Experts have said, okay, so the report by SSI Research said foreign projects set up in industrial parks in the country were up 32% year on year in the first 4 months of the year, up 9.8 billion. So even with the coronavirus, they're up 32% over this time last year. 32% growth. That's big. The pandemic has shown that many large countries' supply chains are heavily dependent on China, and they were taking drastic steps to cut this dependency. Yeah, the biggest trade companies or trade countries, Japan, Australia, the United States, all of them are looking to just bring most all of their production work out of China, and they're looking to drop it off in places like Vietnam. Many large U.S., Japanese, European companies are gearing up to shift production from China to Vietnam as one of their destinations, as well as Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia, which are the other countries I told you guys you should consider investing into their currencies. Now, you're not going to see a huge jump, but you'll see enough to where you're going to make a profit off it. Compared to Indonesia, which directly competes with Vietnam in attracting FDI, Vietnam has the advantage of approximately to China. In other words, right next to it in their ports. They share the same coastline. So it's real easy for ships just to go back and forth, okay? Vietnam also offers support to businesses with many incentives for large FDI projects and has a lot of free trade agreements in which Indonesia does not participate. Now, just so you guys know, there are some free trade talks with Indonesia, Malaysia, and those other countries with the U.S. So we'll see where that goes. Recently, the Vietnamese dong has been very stable compared to the Indonesia rupiah. Okay? Well, not only have they been stable, but we know they've been manipulating the currency. So that value has to go up, which would make it even stronger. So the vice chair of Vietnam's Association of Foreign Investment Enterprises said the opportunity to attract the FDI wave looking to relocate from China is quite clear, but not really big. And whether the opportunity can be grasped depends largely on Vietnam. They're going to take the knee, trust me on this one, and just work with what Trump wants. One of those things are fix your currency that you're manipulating, okay? So we have to make sure that they take care of that. It is being done. Anyways, as usual, I will leave a link to all of these articles so you can read it themselves. Even here, you can see this is a once-in-a-100-year opportunity. They don't want to miss this. They're going to be competing with India. And as you guys know, India's leader has a real great relationship with Trump. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so here we go. Vietnam ready to be the world's factory. But is the world? Let's see. So Vietnam attracted $12.33 billion worth of foreign direct investment in the first 4 months of 2020. Now, it's funny because here it says the year-on-year decrease of 15.5% due to the impact of the coronavirus. On the other report, it said there was an increase, okay? But the figures are much higher than that in the same period in 2018 through 2017. Okay, the 4-month period saw 984 new foreign projects licensed with a total capital of $6.78 billion, down 9.1% in terms of number of projects, but up 26.2% in terms of value. Okay? Many experts, however, the country's FDI flow had shown some signs of a breakout. Yeah, we know this. We know why. Okay? So look at it. Goes on to say mostly the same thing I just read elsewhere. Look at people fleeing out of China. They're going to be looking into Vietnam to invest. Look at this. But Vietnam has in recent years seen the arrival of many foreign manufacturers from China, including many Chinese. Even the Chinese are getting the hell out of their own country. All right. For instance, in 2018, Korea's giant Samsung and Japan's Olympus closed their factories in Shenzhen in South China and moved baggages to Vietnam. Yeah, we know about that. We also know about Google, Apple. We know about them as well. Microsoft is the other one. Okay, so look. Vietnam is what they're doing is they're ramping up. I told you guys about this in other videos. People are looking for ready-made storage facilities and factories, okay? Also, they're looking to move into larger office spaces, okay? For those you don't know, I have worked with a lot of people from Korea as well as a lot of people in Japan. They have this thing about their status, okay? And the size of your office space says a lot about your company. I'm not sure if that's the same in Vietnam, but I would imagine if they're trying to attract companies from Japan, Korea, and the United States, one of the things are they want to be able to accommodate them with large office spaces just because it's the tradition in those countries. Okay, so the smart buy would be, man, if you could, buy some real estate in Vietnam or buy some land and develop it into some very large office spaces. So you see, it's not just the currency I'm talking about. I look at these things and I see long-term investment opportunities. I like it a lot. Okay, so again, thank you guys, 13,000 subscribers. I'm very appreciative of that, man. I can't tell you how much I am, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, other than that, you guys have a very happy Memorial Day. And to all of those of you who have served, I want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for serving our country. My father was a very proud Marine who died for his services. So, and I don't mean like directly died in Vietnam. Of course, he made it back. But unfortunately, he was sprayed with the Agent Orange that over time caused cancer and caused him to pass away. So, my father as well, I'm grateful for your services as well as everybody else that served. All right, guys, thank you. Have a great day.